All right. Good morning. Good afternoon, I guess. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Let's go ahead and just get started standing. Okay, so feet are going to be about hip distance apart. Okay, we want the heels down, just the balls of the feet down. We're going to pick those toes out, spread them out nice and wide. Let's lower that pinky toe, the pinky toes down first. Let's lower those big toes down second. Try and keep those middle three toes lifted. And then we'll lower all of those toes down. Okay, so get rid of the toes, the balls of the feet, and the heels. Okay, roll those shoulders down and back. Let's firm up those legs, so squeezing the glutes, thighs, hamstrings, and quads, if I didn't say that already. Okay, so relax those shoulders down, palms will face forward. Now let's give it a few neck rolls. So let's drop that left ear over to that left shoulder. Pause it there. And inhale, bring it back up, and then drop that. Right ear towards the right shoulder. Bring it back up, drop that chin to the chest. And then look up, tuck that chin, and then we'll gaze up. So bring it back to just do one more time, all the directions. So dropping the ear over to that right or to the left side. Bring it back up. Let's go over to the right side. Bring it back up, drop that chin to the chest. And then look forward, tuck that chin, gaze on up. And then bring it back to neutral. Let's reach those arms up really, really tall. Let's start by just interlacing the fingers and a nice easy bend over to your left side. Inhale, we'll bring it back up and exhale it over to that right side. Bring it back up. Now let's bend into that right elbow, press that head back. So we're going into that tricep stretch. We pull that rib cage down first. A lot of times when we press our head back, we arch through that low back. So keep that core really tight. Stand tall, press that head back a little more. And then we can find that bend over to that left side. And inhale, bring it back up. Let's switch sides. We'll bend into that left elbow, press that head back, core tight. One more breath here. And let's bend it over to the right side. And bring it back up. Reach those arms up, draw those elbows down, pull the shoulder blades together, lifting up through that chest. Let's do that 2 more times. Reach those arms up. Exhale, pull it down. Now try not to arch that low back. I know I kind of did that the first time. Keep that core really tight. So squeeze those shoulder blades together. Inhale it back up. Last time, pull those elbows down. And we'll straighten those arms, interlace those fingers behind the back. And then bring those hands away from the hips. So knuckles down first, shoulders open up, and then hands can come away from those hips. And then we'll release those arms up nice and tall with that flat back. We're going to reach it forward, bring the hands to the knees, shins, or maybe all the way down towards the ground. But we want that really flat back. Use those hamstrings, if they're a little bit tighter, the hands might come up a little bit higher. Okay, keep scooping that tailbone up, keep lifting through that chest. Maybe we slide the hands down another inch or two. And then really relax it all the way down as we fold. Just let that head hang heavy. Maybe give it a little sway from side to side. And let's bend toes, knees, flatten out that back. Let's rise back up. We'll go into that tricep. Stretch again. So bending into that left elbow, press that head back. And then we'll find that side bend over to the right. Inhale, bring it back up. Switching sides, bending into that right elbow. And then side bend over to the left. So bring it back up. Okay, core tight, pull those elbows down, open up through that chest. Inhale it up. Exhale, draw it down. Inhale, reach it up. Last time, pull those elbows down. Interlace those fingers, open up that chest. And we'll release those arms up. Flat back as we fold, reach forward, reach the hands forward, reach the hips back. You can lower those hands down to the legs, keeping that flat spine. Maybe slide the hands down a little bit more, big stretch through those hamstrings. And then we'll relax as we fold. Now let's plant those hands down, stepping those feet back to a plank. Now you can do this on your knees or on your toes. Okay, we're gonna do just a push-up with those shoulder blades. Okay, so we're not bending the elbows at all. What it's gonna look like is we're gonna press the hands away. So we're rounding through that upper back, and then we're gonna squeeze those shoulder blades together. So press away, squeeze together. Okay, so if you feel more comfortable doing it kneeling like I just was, that's fine. Okay, if you're a little bit more challenging, come into that plank. So again, think rotating those elbows, elbow creases, so they point towards the opposite corner of the mat. The shoulder blades come together and press away. Okay, shoulder blades come together, press it away. Try not to drop through those hips too much. So press together, away, together, away. Couple more, together, press away, down, and away. Let's go one more. Squeeze, press away. And then from here, send those hips up and back into that inverted V shape. Maybe a little sway of the hips, bend those knees, pedal those feet, whatever you need. And now let's inhale on the toes. Bend those knees. Again, step those feet up top of the mat. Bending into those knees, flatten out that back, come all the way up to standing, and bend into that left elbow, press that head back. Side stretch over to the right side. Inhale it back up, switching sides, bending into that right elbow, press that head back, core tight, and side stretch. And inhale, bring it back up. Okay, now pull those elbows down. We'll just do this one time. Inhale, bend, bring it back up. And now we'll interlace those fingers behind the back. Open up that chest. And then reaching those arms up, flat back as we fold. And hands down to the ground. Let's plant those hands and we'll step it back to that plank. Let's do the 5 of those shoulder blades, those scap push-ups. Squeeze together, press away. Together, press away. Together, away. 2 more, together. Press away, last one down and press. Hips up into that down dog, calf, hamstring stretch. Now let's bring it forward to our plank. We have 5 push-ups. So on the knees or on the toes, I'm going to start out on my knees today, but it's your choice. We're going to lower, shoulders tight to the elbows, press back up nice and strong. Down and up. Lower, press back up. Try and keep that nice tight core. We're going to be lifting the hips and shoulders at the same time. So lower, back up. We got 1 more. Down, press it back up. And then we can bring those knees a little bit wider, toes together. Just send those hips back to the heels, resting that head down. And then come back onto hands and knees, stepping it back to our plank. Hold here. Pull those, pulling the hands back, pulling the toes forward. So a lot of activation through that core. And then send those hips up into that down dog again. This time we'll step that right foot through to that right thumb. Back heel's gonna stay lifted. We're gonna reach those arms up. We're gonna come into our lunge. So that rib cage is pulling down, core tight. Sink as we bend into that front knee. Relax those shoulders down. And let's twist. Left hand reaches forward, right arm reaches back. Bend into that front knee a little more. And then we'll reverse it. That left arm reaches up, right hand reaches down that back leg. Bend into that front knee a little more. Now reach both arms back up into the lunges. So lower, hover that back knee just a few inches above the mat. Bring it back up. Down, back up. Let's just do one more. Down, hold. So 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back up. Let's ground that back heel down. So stretch out through that quad or through the calf as well. Hips square off. Slight bend in that front knee as we reach those hands forward. Hands lower down to the shin, ankle, or all the way down towards the ground, depending on how much mobility you're feeling in that hamstring. One more breath. Let's go ahead and lower the hands down, step it back to that down dog. And we'll go to the other side. That left foot is gonna step towards that left thumb. Back heel stays up, reaching those arms up overhead. Balance first. Now we're gonna bring the right arm forward, left arm reaches back, flip it, so right arm reaches up, left hand reaches for that hamstring. That is that front knee a little more. And then reach the arms up, going into those lunges, lower down, hover that knee. Bring it back up, just go as low as you feel comfortable. Go down, back up, last time, lower down, hold. Keep that core tight, trying to scoop that tailbone down. Bring it back up, and let's ground that back heel down. Keep those hips square to the front, reach the hands forward, hands come to the shins, ankles are all the way down towards the ground. When that right hip down and forward, left hip comes back and up. And then go ahead and plant those hands down. Step it back to that down dog. And then come forward to our plank. Let's add in those 5 push-ups. Good on the hands or on the knees. Lower, back up. 1, down, 2, down, 3, down, 4, last one, down, and 5. Lift those hips up. And again, we're gonna step that right foot through to that right thumb. Reaching those arms up, sinking into that lunge. Twist that left hand forward, right arm reaches back. Reverse it, a little more side stretch and hip flexor stretch. Then reach both arms up 3 times, lower down, hover that back knee, bring it back up. Lower down, hover, back up. Last time, lower and hover. Bring it back up, grounding that back heel down, reaching those arms forward. Now this time we're just gonna bring our our left hand to our shin, or you can even be down lower at that ankle. Keep those hips square, keep that back really flat, and then we're gonna twist, right arm reaches up. Then lower that hand down to the ground, step it back down dog. Other side, left foot steps through, back heel stays up, reach those arms up overhead. Now twist, right hand forward, left arm back, reverse it. So left hand is reaching for that back hamstring, right fingers are pointing up or reaching up. Bend that front a tiny bit more. And then both arms will come back up. 3 of those lunges, lower, back up, down, back up. Last time, down, hold. Bring it back up, straighten that front leg, ground through that back heel, keep the hips square, reach it forward as that right hand reaches for that shin. Then we'll twist, the left arm comes up. And then plant those hands down. Step it back to that down dog. We'll come forward to our plank. We got 5 more push-ups. There we go. Down, back up, down, and up. That's 2. Down, up 3, down, up 4, down, up 5, hips up into that down dog. Now we'll lower those knees down. We're going to keep those toes tucked under, just like they were in our down dog. Just maybe walking those feet a little bit narrow than hip distance apart. Okay. Now send those hips back to the heels. Okay. You can sit up all the way up with your shoulders stacked over the hips. It's going to be a lot on the toes and the arches. So you can always bring the weight forward a little bit, maybe even onto the ground to take some of that pressure off of the feet. It's a really, really big stretch to those toes. Times of the feet is great for your feet, actually. Just doesn't feel so great, unfortunately. Especially if you do a lot of walking, a lot of running, it's going to be a big one. So just breathe here. Making sure those ankles aren't going out to the side. We want them kind of pulling in towards the midline so those outer edges of the feet are nice and parallel. And let's lower those hands down. Just gently wiggle those toes or tapping the tops of those feet. All right, and send those hips up into that down dog. We'll bring that right knee towards that right wrist, foot comes across. Let's do our pigeon, but let's do a quad stretch as well. So we want to be active here, pulling that right shin back. Left knee is pulling forward. We'll start to bend that back leg. You can stay on your left hand or you can go onto that forefoot. I'm going to reach back, thumb is up, pulling that heel right towards. See how, as I go down, that foot starts to yank across? That's not what we want to do. We want that foot to stay tracking right towards the middle of that left glute. And so that knee is tracking in that nice straight line. So we don't want to feel any pulling in the knee. We want to feel that big stretch through that quad. Okay, now staying active. We're going to press that foot into the hand. And then we'll relax it, trying to pull that foot in a little bit closer. Let's do that 2 more times. Press that foot into the hand. Pull it back towards you. 1 more time. Press it back. And pull it back towards you. And go ahead and release that foot. Lower onto those forearms as we rest that head down onto the hands. Couple breaths. And then we'll come back onto those hands. And we'll go to the other side. So that left foot, or the left knee is going to come to that left wrist. It slides across. You're bringing that right leg back. Okay, now active here. Pull the left shin back. Right knee is pulling forward. Okay, and then start to bend that back knee, reaching for that foot. So thumb is up, reaching for that pinky toe side of the foot. Okay. Now, pulling that knee right towards that middle of that right glute. Okay, we're going to press that foot into the hand and then pull that foot towards you. Press it back. Pull it towards you. Last time. Press that foot back and pull it back towards you. Another breath or 2 here. And then let's lower that foot down. Lower onto those forearms. And rest that head down onto those hands. Good, and go ahead and step back into that down dog. Let's come into a seat. Okay, we're gonna go into a really wide leg, seated fold. So you can even sit back a little bit. So when you extend out, your heels are still on your mat. Okay, bring those feet out as wide as you can. And you want to prop yourself up so we're right on those sit bones. Okay, not rolled back on that tailbone. And then from there, stay really, really tall. Walk those hands forward. So even grip those palms and the fingertips in. Pull back as that chest is going to lean forward. Yeah, then we'll bring it back up. Just go ahead and cross those legs. Hands on your knees, close down those eyes, just taking a few more calming breaths. So shoulders relaxed, sitting tall, big breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Again, in through the nose and out through the nose. Got a few more on your own. And then blinking those eyes open. All right. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your day. We do have yoga, intermediate flow this afternoon at 4:45. So hopefully you can make that. But otherwise, have a great day.